most of them just disappeared once they were found out. I mean,
Well,
that's how
would
it
have
used to
been
work.
well. What would have happened was I eventually would have came forward with the paperwork,
Right.
right? And I would have said, "Here's the tape. This is him." Okay. I would have came in with a big claim because that's a life or death claim.
Right.
Because if I'm wrong, you're calling another member a
Yeah.
rat, you know.
Yep. Yeah. You're
But
calling them out.
if I would have got that paperwork to the right people that time,
Mm-hmm.
especially at that time, Gas, if I would have gotten the paperwork and the tape,
That would have
and
been,
me telling
especially
him,
with that guy at the helm.
and
Gas
me
won't
telling,
put up with
yeah,
that for a half a
and
second.
me telling him this is Sally Elio,
Yeah, it's over.
and they would call them in,
Mm-hmm.
and you could tell if a guy's lying, you could tell if a
Of
guy's
course.
nervous, right?
Yeah.
Imagine calling them in at that time, and they got him in a setting where the doors are locked. You could go at any time.
Talk
And
about
you got
panic.
and you
You
got
won't get in
paper,
a car.
and you got paperwork and a tape right there.
Yeah, it's
You
over.
say, hey, tell us about this. Is this you? But again, like I said, I had to get it out because it needed to be.
Yeah, it needs to be.
And I got no ill will towards Sally,
Facts are facts, right?
even though he contributed to me getting arrested.
Yeah.
You know, whatever, you know, I got no ill will towards him. Just I look at it and I go, well, why? I'm talking about CI 96. I'm talking about my case. Why ain't I talking about Sally? And you could go. My case is public information. You could go right now. You could go pull the minutes to my. You could go pull my discovery.
Yeah.
With the state, because I still got it. I got the paperwork. I got the tape.
Yep.
I still have it.
Wow.
But you could go pull it up. There's a thing called the FOIA Act, not the Gioia Act.
FOIA.
The FOIA, Freedom of Information Act.
Yep.
You ever heard of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not the Gioia Act.
Yeah, not the Gioia. Close, but not quite.
So you talk about made guys. There's more rats on the street than there is in the program. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, I did what I did, and I stand by what I did.
Yeah.
Because had I not, and I chanced it.
What could have been the outcome? It would have been
my
bad
father
for the
getting
old
clipped. My old man getting clipped.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was on the street, okay, never would have happened if I was on the street.
Right.
Or if I was on the street and I got wind of that, okay, I would have went and got everybody involved.
Nice and easy.
I had an artillery.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. In Brooklyn, right, they couldn't get the guns that I had. They didn't have the connection. I would get anything you needed. At that time, I could get M16s, I could get Uzis, I could get AK-47s, hand grenades. Tell me what you want. Silences. At that time, I had a connection.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The only problem was sometimes every number would be obliterated, right? It's understandable.
Yeah.
But he would obliterate them so much that sometimes the gun would
jam
or fall apart. I call him back and go,
he
what
chiseled into the gun that bad?
Yeah, that's how paranoid he got because a lot of these guns were being used.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? So he started getting paranoid, going, wait a second, you know? But what I'm saying is that the one person that was the manipulator to the whole thing, had I not, this goes into a whole history with Brooklyn. I don't want to go over the bridge yet.
Yeah.
I want to stay downtown.
Stay in
because
the
there's so much more to talk about downtown.
Yeah.
But now that we got my case out of the way,
right?
Okay, we got Sally Martin, right, the main witness on the case. We got Sally Elio wearing a wire, right? He's still out there today. The other guy, the third guy who wore a wire, right, that I got minutes on, all this stuff, and was confirmed, was Louis Cal.
Really?
Yeah. My biological uncle.
I was going to say, this is a family member.
Biological uncle, who's my grandfather Nunzi's brother.
Holy.
So I look at this, right? You want me to get on a roll? All right. You take Spring and Mulberry, Black Alex, made guy Genovese, right? Sally Martin, Genovese associate, due to be made, turned it down, right? Louis Cal, Genovese associate, technically, right? All rats. The whole friggin' corner.
Wow.
That club, well, I'm thinking is a safe place.
Right.
Okay. Then you wonder, right? You wonder how are these guys on the street for so long with no pinches? Because you talk about the winks and the nods,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Pete Dafeo, years, decades without a pinch. Captain, not a what do you call a crazy captain, nothing like that. You know, did his little again Sherlock and bookmaking.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
got
very
yeah.
low key, very like politician guy, but held a lot of weight because he was like an older statesman. Oh, now I'm not calling him a rat, okay, but it makes you wonder, okay. Black Alex Morelli, never really got involved in, you know, again like don't meet your hero.
Yeah.
When I'm younger, I'm a kid. I'm looking at him. This guy was like loud mouth, argue with cops, fight anybody. He's like just played the role. He used to breathe like you thought you were hanging out with Darth Vader. That's how,
That's how he
I mean,
talked.
this guy's scary. You know, you're a
Yeah.
little kid. You're like, man, this guy's he's my
Yeah. You
hero.
kind of
Right?
looked up to him. Yeah.
Later on, guy developed a bad coke habit, became a junkie,
Wow. What a sin.
was getting beatings. Like, like people weren't taking shit from him no more.
Right. Because
Wasn't retaliating.
he knew he was weak. That
That
took
that
advantage of him.
that Cafe Primavera flipped into a pizzeria, right?
Yeah.
Alex has been hanging out there for years.
Huh.
Him and Pete DeFeo for years and years, right? He goes in the pizzeria. Now, he was in the wrong. He sits down at the table, and he just kept abusing the guy that owned it. The guy that owned it was an associate of somebody from O'Neill's Club.
Oh, boy.
Abusing this guy. I mean, like smacking him, not paying tabs, making scenes in the place, just really unclassy, uncalled for stuff, right? Finally, the guy had it one day. Alex is walking out of the cafe. This guy went with a bat, hit him over the head,
Nice. Jesus.
batted him, gave Alex like 20, 30 stitches on his head. Came down with a
I'm laughing,
bandages,
but
right? Now, okay, now it can happen to anybody,
Yeah.
right? But this is a known wise guy in the neighborhood, right? Somebody had to tell him from the Gambinos, hey, do what you got to do.
Yep.
Because at some point,
Somebody gave him the green light because he put up with it for a while.
Somebody gave him the green light, or the guy
Yeah.
just said, I had it.
Yeah.
I had enough.
Yeah, I'll take whatever's coming my way now. Sometimes you go out on the limb and you hope for the best, and
So,
that could be it.
We hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, Mink, what the This is a nobody.
Yeah. Fracking.
Cracking a main guy, wise guy from the block, known for years, right? No way he could get away with this. You can't let him get away with it. Right? Well, we hear Alex is out of the hospital, whatever. He's old. He's wearing a fedora hat and he's got a bandage. So I see him. I go, what? He said, me, what the He says, all of a sudden I'm walking. I get hit. Bang. I got knocked into the garbage because it was like garbage cans and stuff. I got knocked into the garbage. I woke up. I don't know what hit me. He said, then I'm like, I'm bleeding. And then before you know it, the ambulance came and this and that. And finally he realized they got hit with a bat.
Yeah.
So I said, Alex, what do you want to do about it? Nah, the kid ran away. What do you want to do about it? We heard he didn't run too far.
Yeah.
The guy was from, I think, Brooklyn or Queens, whatever he was. He's back in his neighborhood. He just ain't coming. Him.
Yeah.
He just ain't coming down around here. What do you want to do about it, right? So at that time, me and Bones. Yeah.
Mr. Bones.
Bones, the manipulator. Eh?
Yeah.
I got to tell you what somebody said in the comments. Going back to the comments in a minute.
Go back to the comments.
So back to Bones, right?
Yeah.
Me and Bones, we said, all right, you know what? We got to get even for Alex.
Right.
Because the Genovese ain't doing nothing about it. You know, we were always down there at that time to go do a piece of work, right?
Right.
So we go to Alex and we go, hey, we'll take care of it for you. Doesn't matter, we're with different crew. You know, we'll take care of it for you. We're family, right? No. He ran away. This stuff. What do you mean? We can't let him get away with it.
Right.
Eventually, the guy come right back to the pizzeria. Now he's back.
Yeah, of course.
We go approach him again. Doesn't want to do nothing. Wants no part of it.
Says a lot, really.
Now, is that yellow or is that a confidential informant?
No, that's somebody who doesn't want to stir any feathers because he can't, which sounds like a CI. I mean, what else can it be? But you're not putting that together.
It just makes you wonder.
But did Bones or you think about that at that point when you guys were asking him, hey, let me go to straighten this out for you. This is a problem.
We were dumbfounded.
Yeah, you couldn't figure out why you didn't want to do it. And at that point, somebody would have told you he's an informant. Would you have listened?
Oh, yeah.
Or you wouldn't have believed it. Like, the guy can't do that.
But the thing is that you had to do something. All right, maybe you don't want us to go kill the guy. Okay.
Yeah, just put him in the hospital for a little bit.
Crack his head
just
open.
Remind him that you can't go hit a made guy.
Crack his head open like you cracked yours.
Right. That you can't hit a made guy and get away with it, and nothing come from it.
You don't want to lay your hand on him.
Yeah, that's saying a lot right there, brother. I mean, seriously.
So I look back and I go, I'm not calling people. They passed away and everything else. It's not fair to say.
Right. They can't defend themselves or say anything. No. But that's not the way you roll anyway. I mean, you're very genuine about every story. So
it just makes you wonder, But listen, it's always a pleasure to see you, bud.
Always, I know. So see you when I see you.
So here's what happened.
We got
a lot of
new decor going.
A little bit. There was a little beef in the studio.
Yeah, I know.
People. They want different things, and nobody can make their mind up.
Nobody can.
So I said, you know what? Let's just put Johnny Cash up there, giving everybody the finger.
Yeah. Which we read.
But then we figured maybe YouTube wouldn't like that, so they forced the finger out.
We blurred it out.
Yeah, brought it down a little bit. So we're still in transition.
We got Elvis behind you over here.
There's always one fella.
Elvis is always a good guy.
Till next time, bud.
Yep. See you when I see you. God bless. Talk soon.
Team Uno, shout out to my Usos, killing bills like Uma. Balls travel from Pluto, big truck soprano, gabagool and prosciutto, kicking ill like judo, judge and jury like